Hey guys, welcome back to Vince Vale Custom. So today I'm sharing with you a SuperWoman Crisis on 2 Earths custom statue made from the Sideshow Collectibles Power Girl statue. Now, I got a few things that have changed up in this statue. I want to kind of explain some stuff. This is sort of a side project just to sell off on eBay. I do want to make myself a Superwoman for my own collection, but I had these 2 Power Girls in my studio that somebody got for me, a friend of mine got for me like a while back, really cheap when it first came out. And since I have so many side projects, I'm just trying to do more side stuff while I work on commissions for people, just to practice some things, try some new techniques, and then also kind of sell them off just to get them out of the studio. And this is one of those ones. So I wanted to practice sort of like the outfit on her a little bit more, and I'll kind of go over that. But if you guys don't know who she is, I'll kind of give a quick rundown. She is Mary Baston of the Earth 2 on the Crisis of 2 Earths animated movie. It's not, I kept thinking it was like the Wonder Woman of the universe, which is like, in theory it is, but it's actually the Shazam / Black Adam of the universe. So, if you guys know who Mary Marvel is, she is, basically, you know, Shazam's, you know, friend, or like, you know, adopted sister or whatever, and she became Mary Marvel. Well, in this Earth, she became Superwoman, so it's kind of like the same things, but I don't know if they never really elaborated if it's like Shazam or she says Shazam or any of that stuff. I don't know. But she's a really sadistic character, and the outfit is really cool. It's a very simple outfit, but it just works. You know, it's really cool. So if you never saw the anime, I think it came out around 2014. Check it out. She's really sadistic, and I just really wanted to work on this. So I'll kind of give you a little bit of a 360. So if you've, now this head is different. This head is actually from the Catwoman premium format statue. I had that statue in the room I'm going to be using for a personal custom, but I wasn't going to use the head for it. So when I took the head off the statue, I sort of see if it was in scale with this Power Girl, and it was. I just had to have some ears printed, and then I re-sculpted and took off the mask, and it worked out. It gives it a little bit of that smirk to her, and it works out pretty well. So this Power Girl worked out great for her, actually, because it kind of gives her that, you know, I'm like above you type of you know, character statue, and the outfit and everything, the pose just worked out pretty well. The hair is actually from, I'm working on my live streams now, a Peach Dominatrix custom that the Patreon members voted on. So when we printed out the extra head for the statue I'm working on, the hair, I needed flipped in the opposite direction. I needed it mirrored. So I had this extra hair, and it kind of worked out perfect for the statue. So I used it for this. So it works out really well. So what I want to explain is what I did. Well, let's get in a little bit closer without knocking everything over. Got the fans going, so I don't want to put the camera up too high and all of a sudden crack it. But, alright, so this is sort of a practice one. I wanted to practice the outfit a little bit more with line work and stuff, because I'm going to be working on a 1/3 scale statue that I got a while back as another side project to sell off. But I wanted to do some practicing with, like, you know, doing some type of like line work with the outfit and trying different things, and this was the main project. And also I wanted to try a little bit more with her chest. Now, you can see the outfit sort of like a push-up on her chest. You can kind of see. What I've learned in the past and as throughout the years, this is a polystone statue from Sideshow. So what happens is, whenever you put Aves next to polystone, if you're going to try to get like a curve or something smooth, what happens is the Ave sands down faster than the polystone, because polystone is basically resin with stone powder mixed in, so it feels like a stone statue. And then when you try to sand that down, it doesn't sand as clean and fast as the Aves does. So what I had to do with this whole chest is sort of kind of rebuild it and get a lot of the this area with the chest that was on the Power Girl, get it all taken off with the taking down the polystone and put Aves on it so I could create this. And then the idea was to kind of get the outfit a little bit of a push-up, so you could probably see a little bit better from this angle. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. And then also sort of with the booty as well. So we'll kind of give you that booty shot. So what I wanted to do is I chopped it down, and then I put Aves in there, and I kind of build it so it can make it look like it's squeezing the booty a little bit more. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. So I'm just kind of practicing this a little bit more and trying different things. And I think what's going to happen, though, as time goes on, I might not come across as much polystone customs. I will probably for clients and maybe side projects, but I think the way things are going is I'm getting more and more 3D prints now, and I think 3D prints are going to kind of take over. And with the 3D resin with Eve, sort of is a little bit easier than with Polystone. So I just got to remember, though, when I'm doing this, down the line, if I get more Polystone statues, I'm going to have to kind of tweak this stuff. So I had to do the same thing with her boots as well. I wanted to make it look like her boots are kind of squeezing the skin a little bit, so you could kind of see a little bit here. It's kind of squeezing out. I don't know how well you can see within it, but in person you could definitely see it a little bit more. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. And then basically after that, it was more of trying different techniques with the wrinkles on her outfits, because I wanted to add wrinkles and stuff. So I added wrinkles in her arms. I added wrinkles around her waist area too. I added wrinkles here, you know, some wrinkles around there and in the booty. And then I did a lot on the boots as well. Now the bottom of the boots, you can see over here, is from the Power Girl statue, but I filled it in to get rid of that texture. And then I added the wrinkles around the knee areas because, like I said, I'm going to be working on a character that is going to be like a black outfit like this, but she's got a lot of wrinkles, so I wanted to practice a little bit more with all this. So that's kind of what I was doing. Then, as you can see with her face, like I said, this is the Catwoman statue. The Catwoman premium format, the one where she's standing and she's got her hand holding up something. I like the head, and I had it sitting on my shelf because I'm going to be using that Catwoman statue for a personal custom, but I wasn't going to use the head because I got a 3D print head out that I'm going to use for that item. And I thought that her smirk and eyes were really good for Superwoman. And I was like, but she's got the mask on and she doesn't have ears. But so what I did is I took down the mask, I cleaned it up as best as I could, and then I added ears from her. Somebody from my streams printed me ears, so I kind of got those ears attached. And then I sculpted the hair, and it worked out perfect. She's got this really nice little smirk to her. It really screams, you know, Superwoman from the anime. And I think if you know, you're a fan of the anime and you like these type of characters, it'll probably look pretty cool in your collection. Especially if you get like maybe a Power Man or an Owl Man from the Earth, it would look pretty cool. And it just screams her too, like she's just kind of, you know, powering over everybody. So. And so for earrings are actually, if you go online and you look up barbell, you know, tongue piercings or nipple piercings or whatever, you can find these earring things, and you can just pick them up and you can cut them, drill a hole in the ear and you glue them in, and they work out great. So I know she had more of like oval earrings kind of dangling down. I couldn't really find anything, but I thought these worked out fine. I created the neck piece around her, and this is actually a little... I think it was a little medallion thing I had in my box of parts, and I sanded it down and I created the S symbol for her, so it worked out pretty well. I did Evolution X eye decals, and I kind of cleaned up, because she's a very dark character. She just has like black outfit, gold trim, black hair, brown eyes, so she's not like, you know, green eyes, blue eyes, or any of that stuff. So I kind of like the theme of her. She's very, very dark looking, which is kind of cool. For her outfit, what I did is I did a what was it, Spaztec gloss black with the metallic mixed into it, which would have gave it a really, really latex shine if I glossed it. But I decided not to gloss it because I was like, you know what? In the anime, she's very flat. It doesn't really give a lot of like latex feel. So what I did is I gave her a satin varnish on it, and it gives it more of a silky, thicker look, if you can say, almost like a leathery silk, like a superhero outfit almost. So it's not really like latex, but it's not like flat. Now, a friend of mine in my chats that I sent a picture to, he asked why there's no blue in there. And I looked at the anime. In some of the anime pictures, there's a really, really dark blue in her outfit. But I didn't want to do that because I felt that just giving it straight up black against the yellow just makes her pop a little bit more. Adding blue into it, I think it would have to be so subtle that I don't think it was really worth it. And I like the idea of everything kind of black. But with her hair, though, it's a very, very subtle grayish blue in her hair and flat. So I kind of just think it breaks it apart. So that's kind of what I did with that. And then as far as, well, we'll kind of get a little bit closer to the face a bit. Hopefully it's kind of going. So I did, you know, give her some blush. I gave her some eyeshadow. You know, you kind of gave her a little bit of a darker lipstick and stuff, glossed it up, so that worked out pretty well. And then, if you notice the Power Girl base with the clouds, it was a white cloud. And I said, you know what? She's got a black outfit. She's kind of a little bit more evilish. I said, let's do more of an explosion, you know, for her and keep it dark. So yeah, I made it more of like it's an explosion and she's kind of flying away from it, like, yeah, you got nothing on me type look, you know. Keeping it white, I think is a little bit more of a. I think it would bring your eye down to the base more because she's darker with all the black, and then you have this bright white base. I don't think it would work for her too, Mel. So that's kind of what I went with that. I was going to change up the base, but then I decided, nah, I think this works out better once I was ready to start painting it up. And the cool thing is she does break apart very well. She comes out of the base. The hair piece is a rod. So if you've seen in the videos, it is a rod that kind of goes into the hair. Even though it was 3D printed, I kind of fixed up the hair in there. And then that comes out. And then we'll kind of show you real quick. It's magnetized in the head. So there is a metal rod that sort of magnetizes. You know, it's got this little hole here. So you can see that kind of goes in there like so. I'm doing this far away. And then the head magnetizes, so it breaks down pretty well. And then I just really wanted to make the hair flow a little bit. So you can see how I kind of gave the hair a little bit of a flow. And I made the hair flow sort of like the base is kind of flowing too in that direction. So that is the Superwoman, Mary Baston from Crisis on 2 Earths, right? 2 Earths, I think that's, yeah. I really like it. I'm really a fan of the character. Like I said, I'm going to do one for myself down the line off of my other statue I got. But this one I just wanted to do the practice, and I think it worked out pretty well. So that is it. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. She'll be on eBay for anybody that's interested, and we'll be back with some more videos.